Okay, guys, well, welcome to today's conference lesson. Again, my name is Alistair, and I'm here to guide you through today's conference lesson. How to talk about sports. Great, I love sport, so this is going to be an absolute pleasure. Okay, well, we're going to get started. Let's have a look at the agenda for today's conference lesson. We're going to have an introduction. We're going to look at some sports vocabulary. Then we're going to have a look at sports from different countries. And then we're going to have a look at expressions to use in sports. Okay, well, let's have a look at our introduction. Okay, so we have our English dialogue and then the French translation at the bottom. So I'm going to read through, have a listen, and read as well in French if you wish. Sports are organised and competitive activities that involve physical exertion and skill. These activities are typically governed by a set of rules or customs and are often practiced for entertainment, competition, or physical fitness. Okay, I'm going to read through that again so you can try and translate as we go. Sports are organised and competitive activities that involve physical exertion and skill. These activities are typically governed by a set of rules or customs and are often practiced for entertainment, competition, or physical fitness. Okay. Sports are recreational practices that unify societies around the world. The broadcasting of competitions by the media has greatly contributed to the universalization of sports vocabulary. So sports are recreational practices that unify societies around the world. The broadcasting of competitions by the media has greatly contributed to the universalization of sports vocabulary. Okay. Well, let's have a look at some sports vocabulary. Please note down any new vocabulary. Athlete. A person who participates in sports, exercises, or games requiring physical skill and fitness. Athlete. Team. A group of players or athletes who work together to achieve a common goal in a sport. Coach. The person responsible for training and instructing athletes or a sports team. Game. A specific instance of play in a sport, often with defined rules and objectives. Athlete, team, coach, game. Excuse me. Match. Match. A competitive encounter between two individuals or two teams in a sport. Score. The total points or goals achieved by a team or player in a game or match. Goal. A point scored in various sports such as soccer, hockey, and basketball. Field. The playing area for a sport, like the soccer field, football field, or baseball diamond. Match, score, goal, field. Court. The playing area for sports like tennis, basketball, or volleyball. Pitch. The playing area for sports like soccer, rugby, or cricket. Referee. The official who enforces the rules of a game and makes decisions during play. Referee. Court, pitch, referee. Penalty. A punishment given to a player or a team for violating the rules of a game. Foul. An unfair or illegal action by a player, often resulting in a penalty. Half time. The break between two halves of a game or match. Overtime or extra time. This is extra time played in some sports to determine a winner when the regular game ends in a tie. So we have penalty, foul, half time, overtime, or extra time. Spectator. Spectator. A person who watches a sports event. Champion. The winner of a sports competition or tournament. Champion. Tournament. A competition involving a number of teams or players, usually in a knockout format. Tournament. Record. The best performance or achievement in a specific category, often documented in statistics. Record. Spectator, champion, tournament, record. Okay, well, let's have a look at sports in different countries. Okay, so we have an interactive activity. The question is, which sports were invented in the UK? Which sports were invented in the UK? Oh, we've got one in there, thank you. We've got soccer, this is true. Football, rugby, yeah, I think that is true. We're going to have a look at some in just a moment. There are a few more. Okay, well, we've got some answers there, so thank you, well done. Now, let's have a look at some sports that were invented in the UK. Maybe tennis, yeah, cricket. I think you are right, guys. Well, let's have a look at some sports invented in Great Britain, in the UK. Okay, so we've got sport invented in Great Britain and the year that they were invented. Okay, so football, 1863, cricket, 1787, rugby, 1871, golf, 1502, hockey, 1860. Wow, so who knew golf was one of the oldest sports? Let's have a look at some more sports invented in Great Britain. Badminton, 1887, lawn tennis, 1859, table tennis, 1880, snooker, 1875, bungee jumping, 1979, the bobsleigh, 1890, curling in 1541, darts, we don't have a year for that, and rounders in 1884. So quite a few sports invented in Great Britain, but there are some other sports invented in other countries. So let's have a look at some of those. So here we have some sports invented in the USA. Basketball, 1891. American football, 1869. Excuse me. Baseball, 1846. Volleyball, 1895. Softball, 1887. Skateboarding in the 20th century. Ultimate frisbee, 1968. Surfing in the 20th century, and roller derby in 1935. So some popular sports there, perhaps some lesser known sports invented in the USA. And of course, let us have a look at some sports that were invented in France. We have cycling, 1868, fencing in the 19th century, handball, the 20th century, pétanque, 1907, ice hockey, the 19th century, invented in Montreal by the French, skiing, the 19th century, canoeing, the 19th century, and archery, the 19th century. So Patrick has informed me that handball is a German sport. Interesting. Perhaps we got our information wrong, in which case we apologise. But these others certainly were invented by the French. Okay, well, let's continue and have a look at those general sports with pictures to represent them. Basketball, soccer or football, ice hockey, cricket, baseball, American football, volleyball, tennis, rugby, golf, swimming. Okay. Now, when we use sports in English, we can use 3 verbs with sports to talk about participation. We can use play, do, and go. So we play team sports, sports with balls, excuse me, sports with rackets. So we play team sports, sports with balls, and sports with rackets. We do sports without balls. Okay, so we do sports without balls. We also go sports in English, and we go sports that end in ing. We go sports that end in ing. Excuse me, sorry. So let's have a look at some examples. So examples for play. He plays hockey. She plays golf. They play tennis. Let's have a look at some examples with do. He does judo. She does gymnastics. They do archery. And sports we go, sports that end in ing. He goes cycling. She goes swimming. They go surfing. Okay, well, we're going to have an interactive exercise. In the chat, we want to know which sport here we use with which verb. So we have running, climbing, rugby, karate, badminton, athletics. And I'd like you in the chat, if you want to participate, to tell me the sports we play, and the sports we do, and the sports we go, based on those rules that are in the chat. So, okay, we've got Victoria there, go running. Great, Victoria. Hello. Oh, Patrick's got his own example. I play paddle. That's great. What we want to try and do is to categorize the sports that are in the chat there. Sorry, on the screen. So running and climbing are with go. Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, I'm paddle. Great. But what about these ones here? I know what paddle is. Rugby and badminton we play. Absolutely. Thanks. So what about athletics and karate? We do karate. Absolutely. We do karate. What about athletics? Is it play, do, or go? Karate and athletics are with do. Absolutely. Then yeah, we go climbing as well. Okay, great stuff. So we go running. We've got a go, play, do. I like it. Thank you, Geraldine. So yes, let's summarize it. We go running. We go climbing. We play rugby. We do karate. We play badminton. And we do athletics. Okay, well, let's continue now. We're going to have a look at sports equipment. So here we go with some sports equipment. Balls, rackets, bats, footwear, protective gear, sports clothing, fitness accessories, golf equipment, skiing and snowboarding gear. Okay, well, I'm going to read through these lists for a second time. Balls, rackets, bats, footwear, protective gear, sports clothing, fitness accessories, golf equipment, skiing and snowboarding gear. Okay, well, let's have a look at some more sports equipment. Here we go. We have water sports equipment, climbing gear, team sports gear, track and field equipment, winter sports equipment, electronic and smart equipment, fishing gear, archery equipment, hiking gear. Okay, so these are some general terms for some sports equipment. Let's read through that list again. Water sports equipment, climbing gear, team sports gear, track and field equipment, winter sports equipment, electronic and smart equipment, fishing gear, archery equipment, and hiking gear. So we're now going to have a look at expressions to use in sport. Okay, so expressions to use in sport. Score a goal or point. Score a goal and point. And yes, gear and equipment have the same meaning. Gear and equipment have the same meaning. The next expression, get in the game. Get in the game. Team player. Team player. Give it your all. Give it your all. Catch up. Catch up. Come on. Come on. That last one used to encourage your teammates. Okay, well, let's have a look at some more expressions we can use in sports. Time out. Time out. Cheer on. Cheer on. Out of bounds. Out of bounds. Practice makes perfect. Practice makes perfect. Fair play. Fair play. Okay, and we have some more expressions to use in sports. Counter-attack. Counter-attack. A tie or a draw. A tie or a draw. Warm up. Warm up. Behind the scenes. Behind the scenes. Last minute goal or point. Last minute goal or point. Well, there we are, guys. We've come to the end of the lesson today. We've looked at sports today. We've looked at vocabulary for sports. We've looked at the origins of sports as well, which countries they came from originally. We've also looked at those 3 verbs that we can use to talk about participation in sports: play, do, and go. At the end there, we've also had a good look at some useful expressions in English to talk about sports. Okay, well, if you'd like to look at further resources relating to sports with the CDL, there are a number of e-learning modules. There's also an article from the CDL blog, and there are a couple of YouTube videos to have a look at there for American and UK sports. Okay, guys, well, there's not much else to do today other than to say thank you very much for coming. Thank you for watching. I'm really happy that you came today and had a look at today's conference lesson all about sports. It's something that I love, and it was great talking about it with you guys today. But that is it. So thank you very much once again for coming. I look forward to seeing you next time. Take care, everybody. Jean-Celine, Patrick, Victoria. And yeah, see you next time. Take care. Bye-bye.